Welcome to the Popish Plot. I'm Nate.
And I'm Jessica.
Today, we're here with another episode of our Popish Prayer Intentions. Normally, this would be an episode that Mike would do. He loves doing the Popish Prayer Intentions. But unfortunately, he's still dealing with the technical issues that prevent him from filming. But don't worry, we are working on fixing this in relatively short order. Mm-hmm. We only have a few more episodes, hopefully, before we can get some Mike episodes back in. But anyways, as he does for every month, the Pope determines a prayer intention for all of the faithful to pray for during that month. And as Mike has mentioned before, these are things that are decided well in advance. They've got the whole year planned out before the year even starts.
Yes.
So
they take extra time because it's then got to be translated into many different languages. So
exactly. So this one is actually both kind of fitting and obviously kind of spirit-led because it is so fitting.
Yep.
So on with the prayer intention. Many people suffer due to the great difficulties they endure. We can help them by accompanying them along an itinerary full of compassion which transforms people's lives. It brings them closer to the heart of Christ, which welcomes all of us into the revolution of tenderness. We pray that all those who suffer may find their way in life, allowing themselves to be touched by the heart of Christ, or by the heart of Jesus. It technically is the same way, either way. But yes, by the heart of Jesus is the exact wording there. And like I said, this is really kind of fitting. I mean, in his address announcing the prayer intention for this month, he did point out, as he's in Rome and Italy is still really kind of dealing with this. And here in America, we are still kind of really in the midst of the COVID-19 thing. It's kind of fitting that as all these people are suffering from illness, that we've got this prayer intention that obviously spirit-led, because how else would he have known that in June 2020, the people of Earth were going to need prayer, particularly for those who are suffering?
Yes. Also, as we've mentioned many times, we happen to live in the city of Flint.
Yep.
Although
right here, well within the boundaries of America.
Yes. And although every one person on our show is super white,
mm-hmm.
we still have the issue that has been going on of the latest outbreak of outrage over the systematic racism that is still in our society as a whole.
Yeah.
So it also really addresses that, deep set suffering that, people have felt and has come to the surface once again.
Absolutely. And not to downplay the suffering of the people who actually experience this in their lives, but at the same time, for all those of us who we every time this happens, we see some changes occur, and we kind of sort of get to thinking, hey, it's not fixed, but maybe we're working towards a better tomorrow. And then something like this comes along, and it's like, okay, so clearly we haven't even scratched the surface. And so, yeah, there's a lot of people that are out there suffering, either with illness or with unfair treatment.
Mm-hmm.
And, neither of these things were things that God had intended for us. He doesn't want us to have to deal with them. Some of them are natural evils that are part of the fallen world that we live in. Some of them are less natural evils. They're still part of the fallen world, but at the same time, they're really more part of our own personal fallen natures. But in either case, these are not evils that we were designed to have to deal with. And as a result, we suffer. So please join with us as we join with the Pope in praying that all those who suffer may find their way in life, allowing themselves to be touched by the heart of Jesus. It's an excellent little prayer. And speaking of excellent little prayers, why don't you go down below to the comments section and maybe share with us any prayers or personal devotions that you might have that you feel would fit within the terms of this of praying for those who are suffering.
Mm-hmm.
Also, perhaps somebody who is suffering, and you would like to have other people pray for them. Go put their names, or even just like initials down in the comment box. If you don't feel comfortable putting your full name, I totally understand. You could go with like a first name, just George.
Yeah.
Well, I'll pray for George. I don't need to know who George is specifically. I'll pray for all the Georges all at once if I can.
I mean, you could always be like, the gossip and the small group prayer of, I'd like to pray for a special intention.
You could do that too. My friend or my cousin. Those also work. And while you're down there, hit the like button. Because, I don't know, maybe you think that this is a worthy ministry that we have here and you'd like to see it spread. And the subscribe button and the bell next to it so you get notified when our next episode comes out. And until next time, remember to live your faith.
Love your faith.
And share that love. Many people suffer due to the great difficulties they endure. We can help them by accompanying them along an itinerary full of compassion which transforms people's lives. It brings them closer to the heart of Christ, which welcomes all of us into the revolution of tenderness. We pray that all those who suffer may find their way in life, allowing themselves to be touched by the heart of Christ.